Welcome to Bhavna Physics class, a simple way of learning physics. Today we will start a new topic, that is electric dipole. It is one of the most important topics of chapter 1. So here I have made one figure. This is minus q charge, this is plus q charge, and they are placed at some length, some distance. Let this distance is twice of L. Okay, I will tell you later on what is the purpose of taking 2L. Okay, so first of all, here the two charges you can see here in the figure, the two charges are equal and opposite. The magnitude of the charges are equal, but the sign of these charges are opposite. So these kind of system is called electric dipole. That means what? A system of two equal and opposite charges placed at very small distance are called electric dipole. Okay, di means two, pole means polarity. So there is two polarity which is having the equal and opposite charge value. So here I have taken in this figure minus q and plus q charge. This 2L is called dipole length. Okay, this is called dipole length, and by the system we can take the physical quantity, which is the measurable quantity. We can take that measurable quantity as electric dipole moment. Representation of electric dipole moment is P. It is a vector quantity. This is a new quantity introduced for you. It is called electric dipole moment. So, as you read in class 11th, the system of charges. System of charges means what? There are more than one charge, either 2 or 3 or 4 and so on. So, if we are taking the system of charges, then there is a quality of that charge that they may move in the translatory motion as well as they may move in the rotatory motion. So, here that is why we take the important terminology regarding this dipole as electric dipole moment. This terminology is important for the dipole system. That means the system which is having two equal and opposite charges. So, electric dipole moment is represented by capital P. It is a vector quantity and the formula for it is P. This is equal to charge value multiplied by dipole length. Any of the two charge we can take. It is always with the positive sign. We will not take the sign here. That means we will not use a plus sign or minus sign regarding with the charge value. So, it is only positive. We will only take the direction regarding the dipole moment because it is a vector quantity. So, Q into dipole length, that means Q into 2L. So, formula for P, this is equal to 2QL. This one is very important factor. Charge, you can see it is a scalar quantity. Length, again it is a scalar quantity, but the product of two is a vector quantity. Again, it is the specific nature of electric dipole moment. You can take out the unit. So, unit of electric dipole moment is unit of charge as coulomb, unit of length as meter. So, coulomb meter is the unit of electric dipole moment. Now, what is the physical significance of dipole moment? Till this lecture, this is my lecture number 6. Okay, till this lecture, we have discussed so many charges. One charge, two charge, other charge value system. Means there may be various charges having the different values. But this is the specific system which is having equal and opposite charge value. And there is a physical significance of these type of charges. And that physical significance, we can take the molecular structure. Like if we are taking a molecular structure HCl. So what is the physical significance of this? It may be represented by H plus and Cl minus. You know about it. It is a heavy element and H is very lighter element. See, chlorine is heavy element as compared to H. So there is an electrovalency. For H atom it is plus valency, for Cl it is minus valency. So this is a dipole. Here there is a plus q charge, then it is minus q charge, and in this HCl molecule they are placed at very small distance. So this makes a dipole, H and Cl, H plus and Cl minus. So this is a dipole, and dipole, electric dipole is important in the molecular theory. This you will read in your further classes in graduation or in engineering. So this theory is very important. So we must know the electric dipole terminology. HCl, this is one example. You can take more example of it. Like if you are taking an example of H2. So again, H2 is a molecule. It will be divided into H and H atom. But what is the difference here? It is plus and this one is also plus. There is a covalent bonding in H and H. So that is why it is not making a dipole, electric dipole. H2O, it is not making electric dipole. Okay. So afterward, like if you are taking CH4, so it is not making electric dipole. So electric dipole are basically that type of structure which are that is electrovalent. That you know about the three types of bonding you read in chemistry. That one is electrovalent bonding, and one more is covalent bonding, one is coordinate bonding. So here electrovalent bonding is required here. That is, we can take the case of NaCl. This is electrovalent bonding. So these two molecules are having equal and opposite charges. So in this case it is an electric dipole. So we must have to take the case of electrovalent molecule. Okay. So these are the physical significance of electric dipole. That means electric dipole is present in molecular structure where there is an electrovalent bond, not the covalent bond or coordinate bond. Okay. So this is physical significance and this is the basic terminology regarding the electric dipole. So afterward we will read the cases of electric dipole. Okay. One case is the torque. Do you heard about torque? What is torque? And the representation you know, that is tau. It is a vector quantity regarding the electric dipole. So, one case is the torque. Do you heard about torque? What is torque? And the representation you know, that is tau. It is a vector quantity. Again, you read this concept in class 11th, torque. Okay. So what is torque? Torque is represented by force multiplied by perpendicular distance, or we can take the cross product of force and distance, R cross F or F cross R. This is the formula for torque, and physically we can define torque as it is the cross product of force and the perpendicular distance between the axis of rotation and the point of action of force. Okay, so this is torque. Tau is equal to F cross R. You have seen these kind of structure. This is axis of rotation and let it be the point of action. This is point of action P. This is the axis of rotation O. And if the force is applied here at the point of action P in this direction, then we can draw the line joining the axis of rotation and the point P R. We need to take the perpendicular distance. So, which is perpendicular to the force value. So, this one is the perpendicular distance corresponding to the force. Or what you can do another terms, you can take out the force, direction force vector quantity backward, and now you can take the distance which is perpendicular to the force. So, you can take this distance R, perpendicular, the value of this distance. So, this is torque, and torque is basically the term which is related to the rotating value of a system. So here, if we are considering about the dipole, we can rotate this dipole. If it is a dipole, this dipole can rotate along with the axis of rotation. If the axis of rotation is perpendicular, it is vertical, so this dipole will rotate here at the middle point of the action. Okay, this is axis of rotation and the dipole will rotate. Okay, if the that axis of rotation is here, the dipole will rotate here in this manner. So it depends on the axis of rotation what you are choosing. You can take the axis of rotation horizontally too. If the axis of rotation is horizontally across this marker, then the dipole will rotate here in this manner. Okay, so that means what, overall torque term is related with the rotatory motion. Okay, and you heard about the equilibrium condition, that there are two kind of equilibrium. One is linear equilibrium condition and one is rotational equilibrium condition. So here we will apply the equilibrium condition 2 after getting the torque value. So we take the case here. Let us consider a uniform electric field. What do you mean by uniform electric field? A parallel and equidistant line, if we are drawing, then it is uniform electric field E. Okay, and a dipole is situated here in the uniform electric field. Let the minus q charge is present here and the plus q charge is present here. This is not placed exactly parallel to the field. Okay, this is placed at some angle to the field. So minus q is here. You can draw the force on the individual portion of the charges here. On the minus q charge, of force is opposite to the direction of field. I told you that minus charge always moves opposite to the direction of field. So here the force on minus charge is F minus here on the minus q charge. Force on the plus charge here, it will towards the field, that is F plus. So F minus and F plus are the two forces acting over the system. This system is called dipole. So there is a couple of force which is acting at the ends of this dipole. What will happen? If this is a dipole and the two forces are acting at the end of this dipole here in this perpendicular manner. So what will happen? The dipole will rotate. Till which condition? Till which point? The dipole will rotate under the condition of equilibrium till the condition, until it gets the condition of equilibrium. So here what will happen? The dipole will twist, turn here, and the direction of the dipole moment should come along with the direction of electric field. Before this, let me clear you one thing. I have not told you in the last topic that the direction of dipole moment P is always from minus charge to plus charge. The direction of electric dipole moment is always from minus q charge to plus q charge. So here in this condition, the dipole will rotate in this manner so that the electric dipole moment and the electric field may become parallel to each other. If the two vectors are parallel to each other, the system is in equilibrium. So that is why what will happen if we place this dipole in at some angle towards the electric field. So it will rotate. So what we have to do? We have to draw a perpendicular line. You know the dipole length is what? It is 2L. 2L we have taken so that we can divide it in our further topic L and L. So 2L is the dipole length. This is the angle which dipole is making from, this dipole system is making from the electric field. So theta is the angle in between the elongation, that axis of dipole, and the electric field. This is theta. So what is the value of this? Let us take some points. A, B is a dipole and this is a point C. So ABC is a triangle. So we need to calculate the value of BC, because BC is the line which is perpendicular to both the forces, F plus and F minus. And here to calculate the torque we need a perpendicular line. So that is why we need to choose a line which is perpendicular to both the forces. So here we need to calculate BC line. In triangle, ABC, BC is equal to, this is 2L sine theta. Sine theta is equal to perpendicular over hypotenuse, so it will be 2L sine theta. So now torque tau is equal to Q into 2L, or you can write it as force into perpendicular distance, R perpendicular. Okay, so here we will take as torque tau is equal to force F, either plus or minus, because both the forces are perpendicular to this length BC. So we will take F plus or F minus multiplied by BC. So F plus, what is the value of F plus? The charge over the B point is, the B portion of the dipole is what? Q. So Q into E. How it comes? Because you know the formula, E is equal to F by Q. So F is equal to QE. So QE into BC you can take from the above terms. So 2L sine theta. So it will come as Q into 2L into E sine theta, that is torque. So torque is equal to Q into 2L, that term will become P E sine theta. So this is the value of tau, and to remove this sine theta, you know the cross product you read in class 11th. So P cross E. In vector representation, we can write the torque here to replace the sine theta as P cross E. It is a cross product, so the resultant quantity is a vector, and the resultant quantity direction should be parallel to P and E. So here in this case, what will happen? E here is in this direction from left to right. P here is in the same direction. You can see here that minus charge to plus charge. So obviously the torque direction is perpendicular to these two values. Okay. Now for the equilibrium condition. I told you earlier in the same lecture that what is the condition of equilibrium. There are two conditions. One is a linear equilibrium and one is rotational equilibrium. So we will take here the rotational equilibrium because torque is a quantity related to the rotational equilibrium. So rotational equilibrium condition is what? Tau should be equal to 0. So how can we get this value? How the tau should be equal to 0? This is for the rotational equilibrium of this system. So one condition is what? If P is equal to 0, either P is equal to 0 or E is equal to 0. It is not possible condition. This condition is not possible. We have taken the case only that electric dipole is situated in electric field. So it is not possible that E is equal to 0. Okay. And the third thing is what? P is again not equal to 0. Why? Because we are taking the case that it is a dipole. And if it is a dipole, it must have the dipole moment having the value Q into 2L. Okay. So this condition again it is not possible. So these two conditions are not possible. What is the one more condition so that tau may be equal to 0? If sine theta is equal to 0. How the sine theta is equal to 0? When theta is equal to 0. So this is the required condition for the rotational equilibrium of this system dipole. So theta should be equal to 0. That means the angle between the P and E, dipole moment and electric field, should be 0. That means the dipole should be shifted here. This is the equilibrium condition of the dipole. This is A dash and B dash situation, where A dash, that means minus Q charge, B dash means plus Q charge. Okay. Remember this. Electric dipole moment is always from minus Q to plus Q. It is never being from the plus Q to minus Q. So don't be confused. If you are taking that plus Q charge here at the A dash point, that means the angle between the P and the E is 180 degree. So always remember that if the minus Q charge is here, then only the electric field, that angle between the electric field and the dipole moment should be equal to 0. So this is only the required condition for the rotational equilibrium. Okay. So this is overall topic for the torque. under the electric dipole. Let us take the last topic under this heading as two conditions of electric dipole. We will calculate electric field at two positions due to an electric dipole. First condition is electric field at a point in end-on position of electric dipole. This end-on position is also called axial position. Okay, and the second is electric field at a point in broadside on position of electric dipole. This broadside on position is also called equatorial. So, if the question is asked at any form, whether the position is end-on, that means axial, or broadside on, or equatorial, you may solve in accordance with that. Before this, you must know the figure. The end-on position, I am taking the first case. End-on position means what? If this one is an electric dipole, axial word is related to the axis. So dipole axis is this one, and the point P is situated. This point where we have to calculate electric field, this P point is situated in the axis of this dipole. Let this dipole is AB, and minus Q charge over the A and plus Q charge over B. The dipole length is 2L and the point is situated, this one is the center position C. The point is situated at R distance from the center point. Okay. So now it will be clear to you why we have taken 2L as a dipole length. So 2L at the center position means what? This 2L is divided in two parts, AC, that is L, and CBL. Okay. So what we have to do if we want to calculate electric field at point P? So we can take the case that electric field at P point due to minus Q charge first, and then electric field at P point due to plus Q charge. Afterward, we will solve the net electric field on the basis of direction. Because electric field is a vector quantity, we need to calculate the net electric field on the basis of only direction. So here, due to minus Q charge, the electric field is towards the charge. That means E minus is towards the minus Q charge, and electric field due to plus Q charge is away from the charge, that is E plus. So this is overall the figure. You must, first of all, you must understand the figure on the basis of which you are going to solve the derivation. So here this one is the figure. I hope that this figure is clear to you. Okay. Afterward we will take the cases. Now first case is what? Electric field due to minus Q charge at point P. You have to write all these terms during solving the derivations in examination. So remember this, you need to write the terminology. Along with the terminology, you need to write some theory to explain the terminology. So E minus, that is equal to, due to point charge system, you know the formula, 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R square. That is the formula. That is the formula. So in place of this R square, we will use the term on the basis of this figure. First of all, you will not use the sign of charges here, because electric field is a vector quantity. We take only the direction. We will not use the sign of charge. So you will not put minus sign here for solving the electric field at point P due to minus Q charge. So here we will place only Q. Afterward, in place of this R, the distance of point P from the A point. That means in place of this R, we will place A P square. Okay. This is the formula for electric field due to point charge. So afterward we can solve it geometrically. 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by AP. AP is equal to what? R is till the point C. So C में आप what you have to add, C में आप L add कर दोगे, so that is R plus L whole square. That is the term of E minus. Okay. Similarly, what is the value of E plus? Electric field, again you will write the term electric field at point P due to plus Q charge. So E plus is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by, for the plus Q charge, we have to subtract L value from the R. So R minus of L whole square. Okay. Now afterward you can solve these two equations easily. This is equation number 1, equation number 2. Because the direction of electric field E plus and E minus are opposite to each other, so the net electric field at point P is equal to whatever be the greater term, you will minus it. So E plus difference E minus. I have written in this form. Difference means what? Greater minus smaller. So we will take the term from equation 1 and equation 2. Take Q over 4 pi epsilon naught terms common, and afterward take the rest of the terms. So the greater term is what? This one is the greater term. 1 over R minus L whole square, R plus L whole square, 1 over R minus L whole square. Now we will solve it. Take here R minus L whole square minus of R plus L whole square divided by R plus L whole square, R minus L whole square. This is A square minus B square. So A plus B, A square minus B square. This whole term is A, this whole term is B. So A square minus B square. So what is the last result? A plus B and A minus B. So A plus B and A minus B. Now you can solve these terms. Minus term will be cancelled out. Here these two terms will be cancelled out. We'll get the result E net, that is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Minus two terms you have to take with the plus sign. So here 2R and 2L divided by R plus L whole square, R minus L whole square. Okay, so afterward what will you do? You need to take one condition. If R is very greater than L. Dipole is a molecular structure, as I have discussed in the physical significance of dipole. So for the molecular structure, you know that molecules are so small. So already dipole length is very small as compared to the distance R for the point P at which we have to calculate electric field. So we have taken the case R is very greater than L. L is the half of the dipole length. So E net, we will struck off the terms L with respect to R in the denominator. So 2L, 2R divided by R square, L we have struck off, R square, that is R to the power 4. Okay. Afterward, E net, that is equal to Q and 2L you can take along with, and R you can remove off that Q term. Okay. So here it will come as this 2 is the remaining part. This 2 into 2L into Q, that will be the term P. Okay. Afterward R cube in denominator. Afterward 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, the constant term. This 2 is remaining part, this 2 you can take here. Okay. So what is the net electric field? Net electric field is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P over R cube twice. This is the value of net electric field. Or you can learn this term as 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught 2P over R cube. This is the net electric field due to, at a point, due to axial position of electric dipole. Okay. Remember this term. Now, come to the next term. Broadside on condition. Second, broadside on means equatorial. Equatorial means perpendicular. This is minus q, this is plus q. AB is a dipole. We have to take the C point center position, and we can take one point which is exactly at the perpendicular position at distance r from the dipole. Okay. So these are the conditions that this one is the point P where we have to calculate electric field. Okay. This is position, this one is this one is L. Okay. Now the point is at r distance from the center position of the dipole. So what is the value of this AP and BP? AP is equal to BP, that is equal to under root of L square plus R square. This is the value of AP and BP. Okay. Now we have to see the sign, the direction of the electric field due to plus Q and minus Q charge. So due to plus Q charge, the electric field is outward along with the line E plus, and due to minus Q charge, the electric field is towards the charge. This is E minus. So net electric field, this angle is what? It is, first of all, it is equilateral triangle. Both the sides are equal. AP is equal to BP. So this is equilateral triangle. Okay, now take the case of that electric field at a point P in broadside on position of electric dipole. So this is the situation. This one is the electric dipole, and from the center position we will draw one normal and take the point P at distance r. So we can take the electric field at point P due to plus Q charge and due to minus Q charge. Plus Q charge away from the plus Q and minus Q charge towards the minus Q. Here you can see that if the dipole length is 2L, so this is AC is L and CB is L. Both are equally divided. So AP distance, AP and BP, both distance are equal, and the value is what? L square plus R square under root. So now take the case of E plus, electric field at point P due to plus charge. So E plus is equal to what? E plus is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by BP square. And E minus is equal to what? 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by AP square. Okay. Now you can see that AP and BP both are equal. So from equation 1, we can say that E plus is equal to E minus is equal to E. Name this equation as combined as equation number 2. So this is the value of electric field at point P due to individual charges. Now we have to calculate the net electric field. So to calculate the net electric field, we need to calculate this 2 theta, because net electric field we can apply the parallelogram theorem. Okay. So what we can do, one more terms is what? This is the perpendicular component of plus electric field E plus, and the parallel component of electric field E plus parallel. This is E plus perpendicular. Okay. Now for the E minus, one is the parallel component of electric field. So E minus parallel, and in the reverse direction E minus perpendicular. Okay. Now you can see E plus perpendicular and E minus perpendicular are opposite in the direction. Now, because E plus and E minus values are same and they are in opposite directions, so all the perpendicular component will neglect each other because of the same value and opposite direction. So we need to take only the parallel component. Now this one is the parallel value, and you can see this line and this line are parallel to each other. So if this is angle theta, what is the value of this angle? This is also theta. So you can calculate this theta, and because it is E plus, so it will be E plus cos theta. The parallel component, it is E minus, so this will be E minus cos theta. So net electric field we can take E net is equal to E plus cos theta plus E minus cos theta. And we can easily calculate the value of cos theta from this figure. So total electric field is what? Because E plus is equal to E minus, so we can take both the values same. So it will come as twice of 2E cos theta. Now what we have to do? We have to calculate the cos theta value. So here E net, that is equal to twice of E into cos theta. Here from the figure, cos theta is equal to base over hypotenuse. So base is L, we will take L over hypotenuse is either BP you can take or AP. So BP I am taking here BP. Okay. Now E net is equal to, using equation 2, we can calculate, write down the value of E here. So twice of E value is what? 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over BP square into L over BP. Okay, you can take this 2 inside it. So this one 2 here, you can take it with the L terms. Now Q into L will become P. So the term will come as 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by BP cube. What is the value of BP? Using equation 1 here. This is equation 1. You can write down the value of P. This is under root of R square plus L square. This much 3. Okay. So this is overall electric field, net electric field at point P during the equatorial condition of electric dipole. So E net, you can solve it in the simplest form, 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R square plus L square whole. Under root you can write down in the form of 1 by 2. So it will become 3 by 2. Now take the condition R is very greater than L, as I told earlier. So if you are taking this condition, you can neglect L in with respect to this R in this right hand side term. So E net is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R square to the power 3 by 2, neglecting L. So we'll get 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R cube. So this one is the term for the electric field at the point in broadside on position of dipole. So you can see in the end on position we got the term 2P, and in broadside on position we got the term P. So means what? That broadside on position electric field value is lesser comparative to the electric field value in end on position. Okay. So these are the two cases which are important in board examination. So I hope you will practice over these derivations, and if you have any query you can ask to me. I'm always available to you. You can drop down the comments in my video after this lecture. Okay. So that's it, and in my next lecture I will start the next chapter, or if you have query related to the numericals, I will sort out some numericals. Even I will drop down some numericals in my next lecture. Thank you.